Hi, so this is the intro to IMMM 1140 CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and it works in conjunction with HTML using code to add style to web pages. It's a styling language, not a programming language that formats fonts, colors, and spacing and sizing to help design better web documents. So let's look at the CSS syntax, which is the rules for CSS. And you'll see that they contain a selector, which points to the HTML, and a declaration, which is what manipulates the HTML. Let's go ahead and take a look. So in our CSS, these here are the selectors in the orange. And then we have the declaration, which is in between the curly brackets. So all this is the declaration. And you can see you can have multiples. And also notice that you'll have a property and a value. So the property is separated by the colon. And then you'll have the value. So this is what we're going to change. We're going to change the background color and then what color we want it to be, which is the value. So the property and value. And when you see it on the browser, this is what it will look like. So let's take a look at how this sort of works. So we'll have our HTML page, and we'll see this is where we have our content. So this will be the nav link, the nav links, and then we'll have our masthead here, which is this section. This is our masthead, and these are our nav links. And how we change or manipulate or use our CSS to assign it some sort of value is we'll do that here. So like I said, here is the masthead. We'll go into our CSS, and you'll see here is our masthead. And so this is the CSS, and that will point, the selector points to the HTML here. Okay, so another way to look at this is you can see this in our resources. This is in the Gingerbread Man. And you can see this is the CSS syntax. So you can see here are the selectors. You got the hat, you got the shirt. So this will be in our CSS, and this is pointing to, say, the hat and the shirt. So that's what the CSS points to in the HTML. And then here next, this section right here, that is our, you can see this is our declaration. And then that will show our property. So we're going to change the background of this hat, and then the value. So the value will be black. So we're changing it to black. And then we'll have another one, another declaration here, which is we'll change the border of the hat to 1 pixel solid yellow. And if you look closely, there is a border around the hat. And you can see this. You can go through the Gingerbread Man and see the different examples, comparing it to the CSS and the HTML. So in our w3schools.com, if you want to try some of these basic examples out, there's a try it yourself section here. You can click on that, and it gives you your HTML, and you have your CSS selector and your declaration here. So here's our selector, which points to the P, which will be usually on our HTML page. So let's try changing our HTML, our paragraph section, our words. Change it from optimistic to some pessimistic there. let's go ahead and we'll try a different color. And we'll try our alignment. We'll change that to left. And then we will do a run, which will simulate this over here. This will be simulates our browser. And there we have it. You've got a blue text aligned left. All right, let's take a quick look at the HTML div tag. And this is also in our to be three schools. So in our HTML, we'll probably have a div class, and this one's going to be called my div. And here's the text, and here's the HTML that we'll be changing. Let's try it. So right now it's 5 pixel red. Let's go ahead and change it to, try it out, change it to 50 pixels. Maybe we'll try green, and maybe we'll try the background to yellow, and let's change that to maybe right. Our alignment, and let's run it and see. So this is how it looks now, and let's see what it looks like with our changes. And there you have it. Okay, so the last thing I'll talk about in this lesson are the colors. And you can see what we were just working on, that we were picking colors by the name. So you can get a list of all the different names that you can use within your CSS document. So you can call it by name. Let's look at the color picker and see what else we have to offer. So you can use also hexadecimal codes. Your RGB, which is the red, green, and the blue. You can use it that way. Or they also have the HSLA, which is something I don't use too much, which is, sorry, HSL, which is the hue and the saturation and then the lightness. And so this is a real nice, handy, if you kind of want to have a visual, all the different colors you can pick, and it has all the different shades. Very nice. This might be a really good reference to keep if you ever want to just kind of look and try to tell what kind of colors you might want to use. This might be good to use for your first project, because we're going to be using a lot of colors. Just pick on the whatever color you want to pick on. And that's it for this lesson.